That's right. Who's ready for some boom, baby? Boom. Rise and shine this light of life into your world. It's morning motivation. I'm Mark Saint. This is Saint's Addiction, and today we shining, bro. When you shining, you got Saints brand, bro. We call it keep shining because you're gonna have to keep shining even if you going to work early or your friend's dying or things ain't working out in your favor, you got to keep shining. And this morning we're going to talk about it. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for non-shine. Ain't nobody got time for judgment. Ain't nobody got time for negativity. And this morning, for the morning motivation, we're going to get into it. Shout out to Sharif, my friend that passed away. Blessings. So over here, this morning, getting up early because I went to bed early and I think that my soul hurt a little bit because I'm being honest. Losing a friend is not the shit. It's not the shit I think any of us want to go through. But unfortunately, it's something that we all have to grow through. Yeah. Go through, grow through, however you want to put it. That's what's happening this morning. And grateful the sun is shining on me. I'm going to have a little moment. I had a little bit of a blunt from yesterday. I didn't do nothing about it. Definitely join Weed Club if you get anything out of this message, or like Saints brand. We're all just trying to shine here. Shine, shine, shine. Let it shine. But ain't nobody got time for non-shine. Ain't nobody got time for negativity. Ain't nobody got time for destruction. Will it happen? Of course it will. But I know, like everyone else, we're trying to move away from suffering. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get away from all the negativity that comes with life. I see somebody waking up early this morning. No trouble, no strife. And I think part of the yin and yang is that it's going to have to come of it. It's me. Good morning. There she is right there. We got, can I say Michaela? All right. So, morning, Michaela. Bless ups to you, girl. You already know, rise and shine, baby. We risen and shining. Risen and shining. Rising and shining right here through the trees. We catching some of this breeze, if you know what I mean. And it's a blessing. I just know it. I do it every morning, but man, alive, to think that my homie's not alive no more, it's been putting me in a weird place. Like, I only have so much time to let these dreams that I have come to life most of the time. Yeah, girl, LYF. Love your, what's you say? Left. No, I know your catchphrase. You have your own little catchphrase. Don't tell me I printed them on shirts. LFT. What is it? LYF. You're gonna have to tell me. I'm gonna smoke a blunt with you. I'm not up too early in the morning to remember your catchphrase, but I'll shout it out for sure. All my niggas with me. All my niggas balling. LYF. I know this saying. You gotta give it to me this morning. My friend died and my brain's in another place. My whole soul's in another place. I think that's why I put my soul to bed early yesterday and woke up early this morning. And I'm thinking to myself, basically every morning, or ever since Burning Man, that this could happen. That there's going to be a day where you don't get to participate in this game called life. That there's going to be a day where you're not going to be able to ball, practice, shoot, stretch, get the protein shake from the and the massage from the massage lady and the protein shake from the protein shake guy. And it's like athletes, we get into situations where we don't know who we are without our sport. And I remember Dustin Poirier saying he doesn't know who he is unless he had a fight. You know, something to look forward to. That circle date, that big red circle, like it's going down, son. And everything in his life was better when he was fighting. Same for Mike Tyson when he had a knockout. He said everything in my life got better when I knocked someone out. And then the same happened with uh, Freeway Rick Ross, where he's like, everything in my world got better when I sold more cocaine. We will try to sell, we will try to bury, we will try to outbuy our own emotions. It's just what we do. I don't know why there's oxygen on this planet. I don't know how life came to this planet, but I can tell you the way that we operate life on this planet right now through human beings is we have emotions. And it regulates us. And we talk about emotional regulation. We talk about psychology. We talk about people that can get their shit together. I might be emotionally dysregulated because it shocks me. You can go through your life every day like I've been, every morning waking and rising and shining, trying to make something out of my life, and then all of a sudden my homie doesn't have a life. And I know everybody knows, well, that's part of life, and I get it. You know, it hurts more when it hits home. You know, I'll call a friend, he's like, oh, well, I'm going to my aunt's funeral, and I'm like, well, I just lost a friend, and he goes tells me I'm sorry, and I'm telling him I'm sorry. The thing I don't want to be is sorry. You know, sorry people are sorry. You know, or did you live a sorry ass life? Did you have that sorry ass energy? You know, ain't nobody got time for that, bro. Ain't nobody got time for Netflix, but we still do it. Ain't nobody got time for bullshit, but we still participate in it. And ain't nobody got time to fuck around with this thing called life, but we fuck around and we find out. And that's what I'm in on my head this morning. I'm like, I don't want to fuck around no more. No more sleeping in. I haven't been watching movies. I mean, I've cut down my whole social media use just so I can get more out of my life. And it's such a short life. You only get so much. I think about it all the time. It's like, if you are to be an effective human being, you only got about 4 hours to produce shit every day. Just facts, right? 24 hours a day. Let's cut half away. Just immediate. You know, Mark, what happened to the other half? And I'll be, well, you had 8 hours of sleep, or supposedly 8 hours of sleep, and then the other 4 hours you were probably shitting, eating, showering, doing something. All right, I'm gonna give you 4 hours to fuck around and find out, right? That's your 12. The other 12 isn't going to be full work, and the other 12 isn't going to be full on concentration. It does not work like that. It doesn't work that way for you. Usually those other 12s are running around doing something. They like to say it in separates, in threes, your eights of sleep, your eights of work, and your eights of play. You know, a trilogy, if you will, of the perfect life of how to spend your time. But you only got 4 hours every day to kill it. I'm telling you right here, right now, ain't nobody got time for that because you already got time doing other things. And that's just it. It's just math. It's nothing personal. It's nothing to anyone else. You're going to need the other 12 hours for sleep and bullshit and eat and party and bullshit and party and bullshit, right? That's 12 off the top. So somebody just like the text man just lobbed your head off, cut off half the time of your life. So whatever time you have in your mind, whatever construct you made up, like, man, I'm going to die when I'm 80, I'm 44, that already means I'm already at the end of it. And it came so quickly. I know I was concentrating since 15, but now the time, and as the storm blows in and the sun went away, it's just like that. It's just like, apparently I haven't been doing enough. Oh, I can't remember what it is, girl. I can see some of it, but you have to just tell me what your catchphrase is. But baby, you haven't been enough. That might be the truth of it this morning. As good friends as we are, then you know, if you die today, what happens to your logo? I'll wait, or I won't wait. Motherfucker, I ain't trying to love you forever, love your friends. Oh man, whatever it is, it's not equal, right? It's not equal facts. It's just what it is, dude. I'm trying to talk shit to you. You know, we're close, so we always talk it real to each other. Um, when you have somebody that's willing to tell you to your face before you die, or at least participate in your life before you die, um, I think that's the biggest thing I could whisper to someone or tell someone or have a conversation with them if we're really good friends. And maybe I should have said that with Sharif, but you know, while I'm living, what dreams do you want to come? Like, what's the whisper that you would whisper to me? Shout out to Whisper Unlimited. That's my homie's brand. What whisper would you whisper to me in my ear as a ghost? Or as your last whisper, as the ghost leaves your body, you know, take care of my mother. That might be your last wish, bro. I don't know. I've never been on a World War II battlefield, but I'm sure there was a lot of time my mom, I love her. Tell my girl I love her. You know, this concentration comes down really fucking quickly. And I don't have my other phone on me, but I can play it for you. But I sent the video to my homie, and it was a list, and I think it was Ray Kroc or one of these old 1950s black and white advertisers. You know what? Let me go get it. Just get up and go after and go get it. You need to hear this message. I heard it this morning. Sometimes you need to know. It just has to happen. And he was so accurate about it, but he cut it down to one thing you're going to want out of your life. And this is why ain't nobody got time for that, because we don't have any time. We're all on borrowed time. We wasted it. We wasted it in our 20s drinking and fucking and chilling and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. Odds are you ate what you wanted and did what you wanted. If I know any teenagers out there, you did it. You did the damn thing. You bought the t-shirt and now you're wearing it. Well, now it's your time. Your time right now. And as this guy, young man, gentleman, old man, pointed out, I'm going to put this up for everyone to see. You only get one thing. So these 7 steps will set you up for success. 7 steps to set you up for success by Brian Tracy. Leg out. Okay. See if you can get him to untap, unmute.
Whenever you bring on a new person, put them through this exercise. If they will not go through this exercise, do not waste a minute of your time with them, because they will never be successful.
Nobody got time for that.
They won't follow your guidance. Here's the exercise. Take a clean sheet of paper and write down goals in today's date, and then write down 10 goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 12 months. And write them in the present tense. I earn, I achieve, I weigh, I drive such and such a car, I own. And then you take this list of 10, and you say, if I had a magic wand, and I could wave this magic wand, and I could have any one goal on my list within 24 hours, which one goal would have the greatest positive impact on my life?
Positive impact.
And usually this will jump out at you. Put a circle around that goal.
Boom, baby, boom.
You transfer it to a clean sheet of paper, and then you follow the 7 steps. Write it down, set a deadline, make a list of everything you have to do to accomplish it, organize the list into a checklist, take action, and then do something every day. If you'll just do this, nothing
That's
can
the
stop
7
you but
steps.
yourself.
Write it down, take action, go after it. He's telling you the 7 steps, and if you want, you know what, Michaela, I'll just send it to you. But you know, it's one of those things where there you go, girl. I'm not going to show everybody your name on here, but you know what it is. It's one of those things that someone that takes action will achieve something. And like the spiritual mentor, or the guy that was hired to teach us, his name was Larry Olson. He told us, what did he say? Like 90% of you aren't going to do this, so 90% of you aren't going to be successful. Most people would have heard to take out a piece of paper and write it down. Most people would have said, oh yeah, that's something I would have done or should do. This is what ends up happening. No one does it except for me. So here's my 2020 goals. I'm sorry. This is now 2024. It's taken me 4 years to achieve these goals, but I posted them just so you can see what is happening, and you can see that this ain't bullshit. And I'll try to read most of it to you because it's kind of cut off, because it's one of those, what do you call it? There's my memorials on shirt. Shout out to Sharif, badass motherfucker. That's a photo I took of him just by himself. Sorry, it's dimming out with the sun setting on his life, and I didn't know. But make your goals happen every year. So here it is. Boom, baby. Boom! I just boom this shit, because there's just so much energy to look at your 2020 goals. And I know it's all scribbled, but that says 2020 goals. So I'm going to hit you off the top. Family's most important. Everybody else will leave you, but your family, they put up with you when you're sick, all your bullshit, and they love you for who you actually are. You don't get to choose them. You're born together. Get in the best shape of my life is right here. Get in the best shape of my life, right under the goals. And it's hard to read this. I can see the reflection of the sun, so I'll just read them out loud for you. But that's what I did. I'll wait. I put the weight back on, but I'll wait. I got in such furious shape. I got down to 80 kilos, 175 pounds, my high school weight, bruh. I just shed it. And thanks to my buddy Raul, but he was right. I was getting fat on camera, and I was starting to put it on. He's like, bro, you're getting fat. Called me out on it. Now, most people don't have friends like that they can be that honest, but ain't nobody got time for that. What you gonna do, wait for till he's 30 pounds more overweight, then tell him? You better say something. Like, you're fucking up, right? Only your friends, because I've seen your trajectory, I've seen your angles, I've seen your velocity, I've seen you in action, I've seen you winning, I've seen you kicking ass, taking names. I just seen you. Badass motherfucker. That's your wallet, right? So as the badass motherfucker, if somebody starts slipping, tripping on their pimping, and they ain't clearing what they usually doing, you're gonna have to say something. A real friend cares enough to say something, because ain't nobody got time to not say nothing. You ain't got time to wait for that motherfucker to do another 5 years. This fucking bird's trying to build a nest. Uh, get 30 pounds heavier and then think things are gonna happen. No, bird, you don't get to look up over here. There ain't no nesting. Like, he was kind of coming up underneath here, looking at it, and he tried to build nest in our spot. Good morning. But that's not life, bro. Life is it's more of a hourglass. Go ahead, I'll wait. It really is more an hourglass. It ain't waiting. If anybody that's lived any kind of time, you get to experience this event. That's what they were talking about in some of the Lux Life, the videos that I be watching, that it's relative because you spent the time, that you have an idea of what time looks like, and you also have to spend the time to understand what time feels like, right? You got to interpret this relative feeling. If ain't nobody got time for that, the most valuable commodity out there, because they don't sell anymore. They might build another child, but you don't get anymore. The time on your wrist is a clocking, and you only get a certain amount. The fiction of the movie In Time is that you can add more time. Kind of like if you add more money, you get more time. That's the lie. There is no money I can sprinkle on you to fix your life. I know a lot of people want to hear that. I know there's a lot of things to look at other people and get jealous of it and be like, oh, well, they got and I ain't got. Man, I'm looking at fucking photos of Hong Kong, Mumbai, fucking places stacked with motherfuckers. A million people in like one apartment building. You did not grow up there. I'm telling you, I was in Hong Kong. It was the smallest, dirtiest, cockroach on me type shit. Right. That actually happened, right? It's the only time I'm, what the fuck? And I threw it across the room so hard it popped, bro. It scared me and popped on the wall. You're near tourist, you wake up and take a picture of a bug you killed. Anyway, photo proof that shit really happened. Hong Kong, tiny, small. I have video, right? You didn't grow up there. Odds are, if you're watching this video, you speak common English, right? And odds are you probably grew up in America, and odds are you probably had your own room, your own bed, and your own car in your own life. I got friends in America that still haven't had their own car. He's got a motorcycle, but still hasn't had his own car. It's crazy. He whips around in one, but never had his own bed. That was scary, to have your own mattress. And then you go all the way to some place like Brazil and you never attain this, right? Like, you're always on someone else's mattresses. The mattress is the number one complaint in Thailand. It's expensive to have a mattress in America. God knows it's even more for to have one in Thailand, let alone your own washer and dryer. Our appreciation, our perspective is way off. So when you're looking at time and you see someone else's time or what they do with their time, right? Your real question should be reflected back to yourself is, what do I do with mine? Because you're the only one alive. Thankfully, your parents found each other sexy enough to have you and Sharif. And then my buddy got to have this life of being an Indian punk rocker and living in England and having an English accent and traveling the world and being on that sunset. I mean, it's a beautiful life, bro. I showed you the photo. It was beautiful. I didn't know that this photo, I'm sending it to my friend so he can send it to his sister so they can use it for his memorial. But what a blessing to have a life. And you're doing a disservice to your blessing by not living your life, right? Shout out to Lonely Beach Mini Mart. It's my Lonely Beach Mini Mart sticker from all the way from Thailand. It's barely lasting. All right, so let's go. What about master the all over print? Looks like Marky's got to add another one to his list. Let's see. Get an inventory, start doing festivals and events. Yep. Getting reliable models up and running. Still got to do that. Make a full calendar of events for the conventions. Still got to do that. Did the weed swag bag thing. That went everywhere. Apparently, I wanted to make weed for Vegas and E-Magazine again. I'm more concerned with Join Weed Club now. The 420 products that I know. That was it, bro. That's where Smoking Review started from. It says 420 products I know right here. And that's when I started doing Smoking Review. I had no idea I was going to travel the world and talking about, sm- going into smoke shops and talking about my friends' products and everybody else's 420 products, weed products. What is this? Make money off of YouTube and marketing. Still got to do it. So, oh, and it also has travel. It says Australia up here in the corner. Something else. It's hard to read. I wish I had it straight, but like I said, it's been cut off. You can see, but 4 years later, we're listening to this old man, on the morning talking about picking one thing that you have to do before you die. That's my Saintsgiving. That was me going from homeless to successful. And I guess I could make a successful over homeless shirt. We can do that. We can do that. Look, drop the Weed Club card. Don't forget to join the Weed Club. We can do that. But I was homeless, and I was homeless a couple different times. It's hard out here for a pimp. It's hard out here for anyone. God forbid you got kids, going through it. Everybody wants to be a success story in America. This is for all of us that, shit, man, we're just trying to get by, bro. I'm a black sheep label, bro. Successful over homeless, but success over homeless. We'll do success over homeless. You'd like not to be homeless, but any tragedy could hit anybody at any time. You don't know if you get fired. You don't know if you relapse. You don't know if you get a fire. I've heard a lot of things, and that's just what it is. So you can wave me, trade me, call it what you want, right? But at the same time, I'm listening. I'm listening to the time on the clock. I hear it clicking. Most people are playing TikTok. I'm living TikTok. That's the truth of it. A TikTok download once on my phone, got 1 second of my attention. I spent a lot of time on Instagram because I believe it to be the future. But it's also, I always drop my business everywhere. Ask all my friends. If I'm saying, oh, that's a cute baby, shirts for babies. Not only you might buy from me, but somebody in your feed might buy from me. And this is my dream that all these little percentages, all the Saints brand, 100% goes to Saints Giving. And just funnel it. Make this app go so you can start. And it hits me every time I eat. This is like a dying wish, right? He said you got to pick from all of it, from this whole list. Getting in shape, travel, whoop de whoop website. Now on the top, Saintsgiving, family. You know, what was the other thing I said I needed to do? Get that calendar thing together. There's some shit that needs to get done, but there's some shit I did get done and shit I didn't think was gonna get done. Like getting the best shape of my life. I couldn't fucking believe it. I could not believe it. I was a little too skinny. I'm gonna be honest with you. It was a little too radical for your boy saying. I'm glad I kind of put some hefty on me because 6 pack abs ain't a normal size. 6 pack abs isn't a normal life. That's not equilibrium. That's not like I'm right here with the windows here. That's not your homeostasis. And to win at this life, you're gonna have to stay in homeostasis more often than not. And if you have anything with Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if you're done here in Mumbai and Hong Kong, your hierarchy of needs are going to be to get out of that apartment more than to hear my spiritual speech every morning. But if you have it in you, right, to see it, to see that time on your wrist, that each 4,000 weeks, bro, and half of them are gone. So let's just call it 2,000 weeks left. How many weekends? How many Christmases? How many birthdays? That's right. That's right. Be grateful. Start counting them blessings, not that stress. And turns out your boy's a bit of a genius. I've been watching this Napoleon Hill do the speeches. I don't know if you guys get it on the 13 Laws of Success. He's good at it. He's the fucking man at it, bro. And he got to be next to the man to get this information. And that's why it's so fucking important. When you're getting information, especially from Dale Carnegie, one of the richest men in the world that started from poverty, he must have done something mentally to get to this point. I promise you, he wasn't wasting his time. I'll wait. But this other guy, I was watching your boy Tony Robbins do his first sales pitch. That was hilarious. He was pitching this whole group. He's a hell of a salesman. Let me see if I can't get part one of Think and Grow Rich, the book my father asked me to read when I was a kid. I just want to play like 2 minutes of it, and then I'll let you in. But it's almost finished. But this old man be
My
killing that
name
game.
is W. Clement.
That's not you.
During your entire lifetime, and write it down on paper.
See, everybody's writing it down on
I will
paper.
deliver this master key to you.
There's a
With
master
and
key.
all personal successes.
He goes on a bit of a rant.
My search led me
Everybody
to the
does.
study of the spiritual forces with which all of us are blessed. And it was in this field that I came upon a clue which has enabled me to help millions of people to find their earthly destinies. I want to describe my discovery in the simplest terms possible, because it will reveal to you why it is true that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, the mind can achieve, regardless of how many times you may have failed in the past or how lofty your aims and hopes may be. I caught my first fleeting glimpse of the profound law which provides the means by which we may choose our own purpose in life and attain it, while I was being coached by Andrew Carnegie during the organization of the Science of Success philosophy. I had just finished telling Mr. Carnegie that I feared he had chosen the wrong person to give the world the first practical philosophy of personal success because of my youth, my lack of education, and my lack of finances. Well, at this point, Mr. Carnegie delivered a lecture that I shall never
forget, bro.
Because it changed my entire life and paved the way
I'm going to
for
memorize
helping
this speech.
to change the lives of millions of people.
I'm going to memorize this speech.
Let me call your attention to a great power which is under your control, said Mr. Carnegie. A power which
Call
is
to your attention
poverty,
a great power, a power that greater than poverty, better than a lack of fear, lack of education.
It is the power to take possession of your own mind and direct it to whatever ends you may desire. This profound power, Mr. Carnegie continued, is the gift of the Creator, and it must have been considered the greatest of all of his gifts to man, because it is the only thing over which man has the complete and unchallengeable right of control and direction. When you speak of your poverty and lack of education, Mr. Carnegie explained, you are simply directing your mind power to attract these undesirable circumstances, because it is true that whatever your mind feeds upon, your mind attracts to you. Now you see why it is important that you recognize that all success begins with definiteness of purpose, with a clear picture in your mind of precisely what you want from life. Then Mr. Carnegie continued his speech with a description of a great universal truth which made such an impact upon my mind that I began then and there to give myself a new outlook on life.
Ready?
And set up for myself a goal so far above my previous achievements that it shocked my friends and relatives when they heard about it.
Big goal.
Everyone, said Mr. Carnegie, comes to the earth plane blessed with the privilege of controlling his mind power and directing it to whatever ends he may choose. But, he continued, everyone brings over with him at birth the equivalent of 2 sealed envelopes, one of which is clearly labeled, the riches you may enjoy if you take possession of your own mind and direct it to ends of your own choice. And the other is labeled, the penalties you must pay if you neglect to take possession of your mind and direct it.
So that's it. Action or penalties, bro. And I told you it's 2 pockets, bro. And I'm not joking about this 2-pocket philosophy. He came from Andrew Carnegie himself. Mine was, turning my addictions into my motivations, right? It was taking this thing that I already had this power, but I was using it negatively, and turn my negatives into a positive and see what would happen, not to be a positive person, but to will myself, my mind, my biggest wishes, and scare myself with my wishes to have Saints brand go worldwide, fuck off, be in Tokyo, be in Milan, be in France, be in Paris, be in the major London, be in the major cities, and talk about fashion. And use fashion as a message, to get in 1 million homes and to hang that message to the kids, reach, preach, and teach every day, to do our best right? To put our halo on, even though there might be some horns on our halos that mostly saints, that we too can choose our halo over our horns, right? That we can be better people. Saints light up the world, right? And that's what we were going to do with this mission at Saintsgiving. I was going to change the world, and you can be a saint too. We all can be saints just by giving. And that was the plan, and that still will be the plan. That is my dying wish. You must have a dying wish. You know you're going to die, but what's the one wish, like he said, on that sheet of paper that pops? Pow, bam, boom. When I had this idea for Thanksgiving, bro, I promise you, I literally stood back from the kitchen sink because it had hit me so fucking hard, bro. It had saved my ass. It shaken my soul. I had fixed poverty. Does anybody else talk crazy like that? It's genius to me that I can take poverty, that we don't have to grow more food. We just don't have to throw away so much food. Bing bong. There's 30% here, even if 10% reaches. You know what I mean? Like a percentage of that getting saved is the end of poverty. This is the most abundant food we've ever had, and most of us are humming and bumming to get a good nice steak. And I wish I could buy every bum steaks, but that's not it. You know, I don't want to eat steaks with fakes, and I'm not exactly eating steaks every day myself. But I did eat steak the other day. I ended up finishing it. But what about the time when you throw it out? That could have gone to another mouth. And sure for shit, there's always a closet full of clothes, especially when it gets cold. You know what I'm talking about, and we all do. We'll give it to the Goodwill and they'll sell it back to us. You can give it Thanksgiving and just give directly, not through a Red Cross and hope that it gets to that single mom. You know, like we really are killing the game right here. This idea was just bam, got me back from the fucking. I was at the sink. I'll never forget it at Dan's house in the back. Some things you'll never forget. So something's gonna pop off of you. Make sure you write a list every year. Mine's every year. I'm not joking because there's a magic wand, bro. He said, imagine there's a magic wand and one of these things you can make happen, and that's it, bro. We all have a magic wand. It's called our mind. And if we put our magic minds to this magic wand, guess what happens? Whatever we conceived and believed. You got to have conceived and believed. He's kind of slick with the words. He kind of adds it really quickly. But whatever the mind can conceive and believe, we can achieve. So in my heart of hearts, I was like, this is doable. Everybody's like, why you got 10, 12 different ideas? I'm like, because this is doable. How are you going to launch so many websites at the same time? Siteinanhour.com. AI. You know what I mean? Make an app in an hour, bro. App in an hour? Come on, man, bro. Let's go. I could. Somebody took my domain name, app in an hour, because I'm praying an hour. But I'm salty. But hey, I have dreams, and it ain't gonna stop me. So, you know, when I thought you could put art on a shirt, and art on a shirt is $4,000, $399 right now, you know, it's gonna be hard to get that. You know, it's going to be hard to attain your goals without getting some kind of self control. The other list that he's talking about, what you're going to pay for, what you're willing to give up to get it. I mean, it's pretty easy to be a child and do the wish list with your Christmas list, with your Santa Claus list, the naughty or nice list. It's that. You know, did you earn what was going to be on that list when you were a kid? Were you naughty all year to not get some nice gifts? Pretty much now everybody gets nice gifts all the time. So what's Christmas? You know, and what's a demerit if it doesn't have naughty on it? You know, it's just there's got to be some pluses and minuses. There's got to be a yin. There's got to be a yang. There's got to be ups. There's got to be downs. And ain't nobody got time for frowns, man. I think we spend so much time living in a realm that doesn't exist. I was watching the video games, you know, Nvidia, the trillion, 2 trillion, maybe $3 trillion company, because everybody's so glued to AI and gaming, mostly their gaming revenue and crypto revenue, because everybody's crypto mining. They need those fast thinking processors. But you know, to be the number one processors in the game, we're talking about people that need to be able to process their lives. That's it. You know, you need to be able to write it down. You're not a robot. Wish away, get some goals, shock yourself. I was shocked. I really still think shocked on that beach. rocking back and forth. Instead, I want to have a place around the world. I want to be in the best part of the planet, with the best part of the weather. I have multiple friends everywhere. Talking to my friends in Turkey yesterday on the phone. They're all in the same park. Join Weed Clubs worldwide, and they're all sitting there, "Hey, Hutchum," and just fucking. That's like, "Love you, brother," and smoking weed in the park. They just pass the phone around, say hi to Mark, and I gotta say hi to everybody. Sim Salabim, shout out to you, brother. So to do that, and then my friend will call me from the lake at 2 o'clock in the morning. The lake house out there in Finland where we all hung out and played video games and ate and saunaed and fucking killed the game. So it's just one of those things, man, where I expanded my horizon so far. I think I have to do this show because I too started on the couch. It's mom's couch. I started depressed in my bed. I started overweight. I started not understanding anything. And it's been a quest, but I was like, hop, skip off of my quest, man. I do the same thing. I try to learn from everybody. The books, got to read more books. That's what you have time for. You have time for knowledge. If you have time to be on your phone fucking around, if you have time to bullshit and surf the net, I'm telling you now, that's not educational. The book will make you sit and concentrate. The other one will make you numb and forget. And that's the most dangerous thing, especially I look around, and especially in America, where we have the land of plenty, and everybody has more income than anyone else in the whole entire world, and the safest in the whole entire world, and pretty much, you know what I mean, within reason. Some people can bitch and moan, but they don't know. They don't know poverty. They don't know ownership. They don't know somebody coming into Syria and just bombing it to shit, and then everybody's letting their kids pull trash through rubbish. I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like, how does a 12-year-old have a job picking up trash looking for copper in this new world, in this world that we live in? How is a guy still wearing flip flops in a cobalt mine when they're not supposed to do that to get lithium with cobalt to make EVs? Man, I get on some tirades, but it just was just we bitch so much when we have so much time and opportunity to do something with this much level of high speed internet, this much level of healthy human beings. Everybody got access to healthcare and being able to pump out any idea that you have inside you. The time is now on everything. That's just no joke. It's just so on the now right now. There's an imperative, and it's not just because my buddy died, but ain't nobody got time for that. AI is out there. They requiring the best of us. So many a times, many a decades, many a everything. I don't think we want to wait for a war with China or some kind of cyber attack. I think we want to be on the forefront of building these semiconductors that we created, and building up, labs that people want to be in the electronic sciences and mathematics, and still things that you can't rapidly pump out, right? Nobody's got time for you to ask ChatGPT some of these questions. They're going to ask you from your creativity, experience, and knowledge. It's the truth. So somebody's going to look to you one day. You're going to be worth something to somebody for purpose. How do I fix this baby? How do I fix my life? How do I fix my weight? How do I fix my finances? How do I fix my health? How do I fix my wealth? How do I fix my relationship? You're gonna audible to a lot of people. I promise you. You're gonna look for an option. You're gonna need education. You're gonna need knowledge. You're gonna need some assets just to make your life smoother. Everybody else is a smart enough monkey to be like, shit, man, if I add, grip to my steering wheel, then it feels better. Boom, something else bought, right? If I have fresh juices in the morning, then I feel better. Boom, buy a blender. Boom, something else bought, right? We have so many inner conveniences. Air conditioning, right? I wonder why I'm getting fat. Like, there was no air conditioning in my bungalow in Thailand. It was either hot or cold, and the water was always cold, and it wakes you up. It wakes you up to say, oh shit, I don't always have warm water. Okay, Okay, duly noted. Or awesome toilets, or taking showers next to toilets. It's a thing. So it's a full on thing, and that's what we got to do. We got to realize that there's levels to this shit. Right now, most of us are running around like basically in a fucking Jay Z. Money ain't a thing video. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't a music video. Most people, that's what they're doing. They get to go to weddings and boat trips, and they're showing it on Instagram, whatever it is, right? I didn't post for a whole year, bro. It's not a show off contest. It's a live contest. I have to live it and believe it to conceive it. And I did. By pure fact of being on that island, I could see it in my mind's eye. Not only was I living it, but like I said with my friend when I'm rubbing elbows with him, and I said, bro, I would have never met you if we weren't both dreamers. You know, with your fucking ocean view property and building fucking sand tennis fucking court and play frisbee with the blue line across the back of the ocean. Frisbeeaddicts.com. It changed my life getting on the frisbee, running around, feeling like a kid again, chasing that fucking frisbee like a crazy ass dog. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, and even my dog Sophia, when she was in Brazil, wanted it really bad. She knew the frisbee was on top of the table. Hey, 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 when we gonna play? When we gonna play? When we gonna play? Jumping 6 feet in the air, catching it in her teeth. I've seen the dream. Just kept traveling, and then I see how other people lived, and I see that I had it pretty good, and I said I couldn't complain. And there's things that I bitch about. You know, America can do better. You know, we should have had homelessness fixed already. Like a bad joke. I'm gonna help with it. So that's where Home Small comes from. Thank you, energy. Needed it. Needed that energy. I ain't mad at it no more. Call attention to homesmall.com. We talked about it. ChatGPT talked about it. The solution for homelessness is housing. Wow. Homeless, add home. Home small. Here you go. You want tiny homes? We're making homes small. We're making them small and making them easy. 200, I'm about to say it, square meters or feet. I think it's 200 square feet, but I'm too high to remember right now. Don't quote me on that, but that's the point. Is to square that off. Get a little chunk of land yourself, and it could be anywhere. There's so much land out there, and just to house the homeless is really where it's at, and it fixes the topic. It's a plus one. It's a drop in the bucket for what's getting going to the Ukraine or whatever. And this isn't political. Just whatever, anything else that pops up. FEMA. It could be a new hurricane that we haven't even seen yet, and FEMA will bust out 13 billion. So, in any moment, we can Thanos snap some of this stuff, right? We can really be about it, be about our lives, be about our decisions, make a choice, and put all our energy towards that thing. That's the conceiving. That's the ignition. That's the snapping to it. Your Mel Gibbons or Mel Robbins, whatever her name is. She does the countdown. You're in a launch. You're launching your life. And if anybody has anything exciting worth looking forward to, is the countdown. Something to look forward to, something you're about to do, and it's all your passion, it's all your purpose, it's aimed at one destination. And that's me, Mark Marketing. I'm making my mark, I'm punching my dent in the universe, I'm pushing forward and launching, playing games like a billionaire with my rocket lifting off of fucking high heights and oh, by the way, those are my satellites, and oh, by the way, I'm gonna be doing the tunnels too. Don't worry about me. uh yeah, don't worry about me. I lived a blessed life, and don't worry about Sharif. He lived a blessed life too. This is about time. Ain't nobody got time to be fucking around, bro. We have brands to launch. We have places to go. We have things to do, and that's why I'm up early with the birds, hearing them chirp, because I want to know what it's like to live with my own thoughts in reality, and not on a show, but like right in front of me. And that's what's important to me, to see it really with my own eyes while I'm alive. um, to inspire before I expire, to experience it. It's my life too. I want to experience it. It's cool that people might buy into the brand. It's even cooler that Saintsgiving will become an app. At the same time, not for nothing, the pain that I've had to experience and the lessons that I've had to learn are the fruits of my labor and the shine that is earned. So, I'm gonna keep shining. Saints light up the world. I want you to keep shining too. Your boy Marky Saint, peace and love. Saints brand, we out. I'll see you on the other side. Ciao.